1 Corinthians chapter 14 verses 31 to 33 says, "For ye may all prophesy one by one, that all may learn, and all may be comforted. And the spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets, for God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints." I got a question from one of our devout followers. The question was, what does one do if a person's ministry is different from that of the Father in the Lord? In the near future, we will look into what gift, ministry, and church are. But to address this particular question, the wisdom is in our text, 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verses 31 to 33. Our God is orderly. In hierarchy, commissioning is first before ministry. You bear the scar in commissioning, but grace is given for work or ministry. Not only is there transaction or bargain in words, one or two angels are assigned at commissioning to establish the purpose of the commission, while the Spirit leads in ministry for revival. Therefore, if your ministry is different from that of your Father in the Lord, which mostly is the case, it does not work in isolation. It is connected to a covenant principle. However, if your ministry is for another revival, there will be a separation. Separation comes in release by divisional or persecution in some cases. Another means of separation is not recommended because of the repercussions, and that is disagreement. Instead of going the route of disagreement, go the way of commitment to the end while praying. The God who called you will work out the release. Satan mostly comes in to sow the seed of discord. Remember, Samuel's ministry was different from that of Eli. Yet, he was still connected to Eli despite the fact that God was displeased with Eli's work. Eli still taught him a principle that launched him fully in his ministry. If your Father in the Lord is not doing it right, it is not in your charge to insult, rebuke, or disrespect him. Watch out for Satan's suggestions. It will come in diverse ways, and in most cases, he uses the church members. They may praise your ministry above his, ignore him for yours, suggest to sponsor you, and so on and so forth. He may even stir up false accusations and slanders against you before your Father in the Lord. Don't let the fame of your ministry get into your head, and don't let overconfidence drag you away from being blessed. I have seen a commission in which the first person to be released was highly humiliated, in-house and publicly. Yet he never said bad about his Father in the Lord. He submitted himself to intensive prayer and fasting. Just as Eli perceived God was talking to Samuel, the man's father in the Lord called him one day for release and made him to give a sermon at his release and embraced him. Today, he is big in the kingdom work. Whatever happened between him and his Father in the Lord was a smear of what his Father in the Lord paid for as a price. What he went through with him was his own price to pay. Patience, loyalty, and commitment in the face of other unfavorable situations lifted him up. He has covered more territories than what his Father in the Lord covered, but not disconnected from his Father in the Lord. Ensure amicable release without any iota of bitterness. In no way should you take your Father in the Lord for granted. If Satan wants to rubbish one's efforts and reward, he stirs up unnecessary provocations based on slanders to distort a person's path. There may be isolated cases from this general view. My sincere admonition is that you don't walk out on your Father in the Lord. Check the King James Version of the Bible. Saul is addressed as King Saul only once. And even in that, it was when the women sang the song to welcome David after killing Goliath. All other times he is addressed as Saul. He faulted the punctuality of his Father in the Lord, the one who poured oil on him to be king and prophet. He decided to do what his Father in the Lord was supposed to do without permission from him. He even went ahead to tear the garment of his Father in the Lord. Read 1 Samuel chapter 15 verses 1 to 28. Truly he was already a king. Truly he could prophesy. A double of what his father in the Lord had. Instead of following the words from Samuel, he listened to the people. He gained courage. Samuel showed him that he still have what it takes to be a father. Beloved, you probably have the thought that you have seen all of your father in the Lord. No, you have not seen anything. Every commission, ministry, gifting have his angel attached. But the truth is that they are subject to one another. That is the meaning of the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. The angel of a commission prompts that of the ministry, and that of the ministry employs that of the gifting. The crow of the cock gives us the wisdom in James chapter 4 verses 7 and 10. It says, submit yourself therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Humble yourself in the sight of the Lord, and he will lift you up.